My beloved child, you are disappointed because I am silent. But you do not know that it is precisely this silence that is driving the roots of your faith deeper than anything your eyes can see. You are afraid that I am slow to act. Yet you have never seen how I quietly move mountains and clear the road ahead of you. Do not be quick to conclude that I have abandoned you. Sometimes I step back only to teach you how to stand, not to leave you to fall. Long ago, the prophet Elijah fled into the wilderness exhausted, to the point that he said, "Lord, it is enough. Please take my life." He thought the Lord was silent, mistook my seeming delay as a sign that he had been forsaken. But I did not rebuke him or scold him. I simply sent an angel to touch Elijah twice and say, "Get up and eat, for the journey you must go on is still long." There was no thunderous miracle, no roaring thunder, only a simple meal. Yet from within that silence, Elijah was raised up to continue his journey. In the same way, there are days when you hear nothing from me, yet you do not know that I am preparing a quiet strength enough to carry you across a whole desert. You were sure you could not cross. There are seasons in life when you do not need anyone to cheer you on. You only need a small sign that heaven still remembers you. Yet the longer you wait, the more you see nothing but a silence stretched out until it feels suffocating. You assume it is a sign that I have turned my back on you. But in truth, that is when I am placing you into an invisible furnace, where silence becomes a mirror, revealing the cracks in your soul that you would not normally see. I am not cruel. I am healing the deepest parts of you in a way that noise could never accomplish. There are times when you look back over your life and see only missteps, dreams not yet reached, prayers not yet answered, doors not yet opened. You conclude that I have come too late. Yet it is precisely in those delays that I am resetting your breathing to match the rhythm of heaven. You only see time slipping through your fingers. I see a person being refined to carry a responsibility far greater than anything you are now imagining for your future. And then there are days when the pain is so great that your mind begins to ask, "Is God punishing me?" But you do not realize that what you call loss is often simply me pulling you away from paths whose end is a deep abyss. I do not let you hurt in order to humiliate you. I allow the pain so that you will loosen your grip on the things that are causing your soul to decay. My silence, my slowness, all of it is a carefully measured movement to protect you from what you are not yet clear enough to see. You still tend to think that when the heavens are silent, it means I have gone far from you and left you to struggle alone with things you cannot even name. But you do not realize that in the very moments when you tremble in the quiet, I am bending closest. Listening to each sigh, you try to hide behind a calm facade. I hear even the words that never become sound. I see every tear you quickly wipe away when no one is watching. And yet, simply because I do not answer at once, you fear that I no longer care. My child's silence is not a closed door. It is the room into which I lead you, so that I may mend the deep fractures you dare not touch. If you will be still inside, you will sense that my silence has never been distance, but the way I hold you in my arms without frightening you. At times I allow the stillness to last longer than you would like, because I know there are things that cannot be restored in the midst of noise. You wait for a clear affirmation, while I want you to listen again to the beating of your own heart, where I have always been, not moving even half a step away. You think I am late, but you do not see that I am sharpening your faith in the gentlest possible way. I do not want you to trust me only when you receive what you desire. I want you to trust me even when every outward sign seems to say that I have forgotten. One day, you will understand. This faith is not born when prayers are answered immediately, But when you keep holding my hand, even when you hear nothing at all, in that very moment you grow like a tender shoot, learning to twist its roots toward the true source of life. I know there are nights when you lift your eyes to the sky and ask, "Lord, are you looking at me?" And I still want you to know that I have never taken my eyes off you, not even for a moment. You see silence as a refusal. I see it as a cocoon cradling a soul that is about to grow stronger. Sometimes I keep silence so that you will stop searching for answers outside yourself and begin to look for me in the rhythm of your daily life, where I hide myself in each small piece you usually overlook. I am not punishing you when I am silent. I am healing you at a pace your heart can bear. And one day, when you look back, you will see that I upheld you through things you once thought were of no importance. But I also see within you a quiet doubt. You believe you are no longer worthy of my attention. You think you are too weak, too wrong, too broken for me to want to draw near. Yet, my child, I do not see you with human eyes. I see you with the gaze of your Creator, the one who knew you before you were formed. I have never accused you with the harsh words you repeat to yourself each night, nor have I ever measured you by success or failure. I look only at the heart that keeps trying, though it is sometimes covered in scars, and I still call it precious. When you let silence lead you into self-condemnation, you unknowingly forget that I am a father, not a judge. What I am waiting for is not your perfection, but the return of your weary heart. Therefore, when you feel that the heavens are mute, do not shrink back and conclude that I am no longer there. I want you to learn to look beneath the surface of the stillness and see that I am still moving in places your eyes cannot yet reach. Do not run from me when you feel lonely. It is precisely then that I long for you to call my name with all the honesty in your heart. Even if your only words are, "Lord, I am so weak." You do not need to be strong in order to stand before me. You only need to be real. From that honesty, I will lead you out of the fog that is covering your soul. And then you will slowly realize that the feeling of being forgotten is only the shadow of fear, not the reality of my heart toward you. Once you walk through that shadow, everything that follows in your life, time, opportunities, even delays, will be seen with entirely different eyes. You often look back over your years and wonder why everything seems delayed, why you always feel as though you have missed the important trains. When you see others walking quickly while you walk slowly, you assume that I am favoring them and forgetting you. But my child, I have never measured you by anyone else's pace. Every soul I have created has its own rhythm, its own appointed time, its own journey carefully designed so that it does not lose the essence I placed within it. Yet when you fix your eyes on comparison, you fail to notice my hand reshaping your path. You hear the clock urging you on. But it is often in those very moments that I am pulling you back from hurried steps that would leave your soul wounded and raw. I know there have been days when you opened your eyes and already felt at a disadvantage, out of step, no longer able to catch up with those who went ahead of you. You look at your age, at the opportunities that have slipped through your hands, and you sigh quietly. Now it's too late, but I want you to understand that I do not operate according to the timeline you see. I am not in a hurry when you are in a hurry, nor do I panic when you are afraid. I work in the deep places of the soul, where time is no longer a chain or a limit. You think the long years that have passed were only an empty stretch, but they have been silently carving out perseverance, humility, and faith, things that early success rarely has the power to create. When you think you are wandering in circles, in reality, you are walking along the very path I marked out for you beforehand. There are times when you come to pray with a heart weighed down, because you feel your life is moving too slowly, and you blame yourself more than you blame me. You ask whether I'm still writing anything for your future, or if the pages of your life have already come to an end. But I want you to know that I have never canceled the destiny I began. No closed door has the authority to destroy what I have ordained. You can see only the present, but I see the whole road, from start to finish. What you call slow is many times the perfect pace to keep you from receiving things you are not yet ready to carry. My child, the fact that you have not reached the finish line does not mean you have failed. Sometimes it simply shows that you are living within the precise process of my timing. I also see in you a habit that quietly wears down your spirit. You keep comparing yourself to the journey of others. You see them going far, while you seem to move only inch by inch. And you conclude that you are inferior or have been left behind. But my child, every comparison blinds you to what I am quietly restoring in you. When your eyes are fixed on someone else's achievements, you no longer see the seeds I am sowing in you each day. The fact that those seeds have not yet blossomed does not mean they are not alive. They are simply waiting for the right climate, the right light, the right moment I have appointed. If you force them to bloom in someone else's season, you will cause the tender petals of your own life to break before they have a chance to tell the story. I long to write through you. So when you feel your heart growing anxious because time keeps passing, I long for you to slow your breathing and look at me. Instead of looking at the haste of this world, you are not late. You are being held a little longer, so that when the door opens, you will step through with a soul strong enough, deep enough, and mature enough to carry what I place in your hands. I do not want you to receive blessings too early before you have roots, because rootless blessings will make you fall faster than you think. Let me lead you according to the rhythm of heaven, a rhythm that is never off by even a second. And then you will realize this. What you once called too late was in fact the delicate preparation for things you never thought you could be worthy to receive. And when you pass beyond your obsession with time, you will begin to see every stumble, every delay, every closed door with new eyes. You will no longer rush to conclude that I am withholding something good from you. Instead, you will begin to understand that I am holding you back from things that do not belong to you. From that awareness, your heart will grow lighter, and you will recognize that I am making a way for you in places your eyes have not yet reached. For when you have learned to trust me in the delays, you will also learn how to trust me in losses, in redirections, in the things you call pain. And that will be the door leading you into a greater truth. Pain is not always punishment. Many times, it is the shield I quietly place in front of you. There are days when you look at the broken pieces in front of you and sigh. God must be punishing me. Disappointment seems to come too easily, and joy seems to arrive too late. You watch opportunities fade. Relationships that once looked beautiful begin to crack, and you conclude in silence. Maybe God doesn't love me anymore. But my child, I have never used pain to take revenge on you or to push you down. I use it as a mirror so you can see clearly what is weighing your soul down, the things you have been afraid to face. If you are willing to draw near to me, you will discover that what you call unfairness is at times the very protection I have quietly prepared, just for you. When a door closes, I see you bow your head and blame yourself. Blame life and then blame me. You do not know that sometimes I am the one who places my hand on that door and shuts it before it has the chance to crush you. There are people you thought were right for you, but I could see in advance the pain they might bring into your life. There are places you wanted to go, but I knew you would lose yourself if I let you enter. So I am forced to stop you. even when you cry because you do not understand. You only see that you have lost something you wanted. I see that I am saving you from a wound you would not be able to heal on your own. And one day, you will thank me when your heart is quiet enough to recognize that what I withhold is never less than what I am preparing for you. At times, I use delays to keep you from dangers that the human eye cannot foresee. Like the time you were angry because you were stuck on the road or missed an appointment you thought was a great opportunity. You were sad, frustrated, blaming yourself for being careless, but you did not realize that sometimes those very moments of being held back are what kept you far from a crisis I did not want you to face. I do not need to perform a visible miracle to protect you. Sometimes a small delay is enough to change the course of a destiny. If you would look at your life from a wider angle, you would see that behind each late arrival, each change of plan, each lost opportunity, there is often a deliberate arrangement I am quietly putting in place. I do not boast when I rescue you. I simply act, then stand, and watch you walk on in safety. But I also know your easy habit. You tend to give me the face of those who have wounded you when someone lets you down. You are afraid I will do the same. When someone walks away, you fear I too will leave you. And when you are in pain, you quickly assume that I am punishing you, my child. I am not them. I did not come to strike you down. I came to lift you up from consequences you yourself do not fully understand. If I wanted to punish you, I would have left you to sink deeper into your wrong paths. But no, I pull you back, even when you resist, because I know the things you cannot yet see. I love you, not because you deserve it, but because you belong to me. And because you belong to me, I will not allow pain to drive you off course. So when your heart is bleeding, I do not demand that you be strong. I only want you to come near and tell me how you truly feel, whether it is fear, anger, or disappointment. I am not offended by those emotions. I am only saddened when you try to hide them and bear everything alone. Let me step into the dark places within you, the places you let no one touch because you think they are too ugly. There I will show you that pain is only the soil being turned over so that I can plant something new. And when you allow me to walk with you, you will understand that pain has never been a full stop. It is only a comma that opens into renewal. From that awareness, you will slowly free yourself from the belief that I am punishing you and begin to see that I am leading you toward a good you have not yet dared to believe you could receive. Then, when you have let go of your doubts about my love for you, you will begin to see events unfolding in a very different way. You will see that losses are no longer just losses, but the changing of soil for new seeds of life. You will see that turnings in the road are no longer detours, but precise adjustments to steer you away from the cliffs ahead. And you will see that I am not as far away as you thought. I am right beside you at every step, with every sigh, every time you stand up again. Once you understand the meaning of pain, you will gently realize that not only has pain been misunderstood, you have also misjudged your own worth. And that will be the bridge that leads you to the next truth. You are not a flawed product of your past. You are being reshaped in the hands of a deeply patient potter. There are days when you look back at yourself and see only old scratches that have not yet healed. You remember wrong decisions, trust given to the wrong people falls that fill you with shame whenever you recall them. Then you conclude that you deserve this, as if every mistake has turned you into someone who no longer has any value before me. But my child, I have never looked at you with the eyes you used to look at yourself. You see only a past full of fragments. I see a soul waiting to be made whole. I am not standing there to accuse you. I am standing there to pull you away from the harsh voice you repeat over and over in your own mind. If you would be still for a while, you would hear that my words are far gentler than the judgment you keep placing on yourself. When you blame yourself for what is past, I see you like a person standing before an old mirror, seeing only a distorted image of yourself and not realizing that it is the mirror that needs to be replaced, not your heart. The more you repeat, "I deserve this," the greater the distance becomes between you and the restoration I have for you. You think I keep your failures in constant remembrance, but I have already placed them so far away that you are the only one still holding on to them. You call yourself by names. I have never used foolish, weak, worthless, getting what you deserve. Those words do not come from me. They come from the fear of being hurt again. You are using the past like a lock to chain yourself, while I long to remove it so you can step into a future shaped by my hands. You need only to relax your grip a little, and I will show you the new mirror I am holding out, where you are seen through the eyes of a father, not a judge. I want you to remember that you are only clay and I am the potter. No one looks at the clay and calls it useless. They only look at the hands that shape it. You are not yet your final form. You are in the middle of the process, and the process always includes being pressed again, adjusted, even broken, so that you can be remade better. You thought the shaking in your life was punishment, but in reality, it is how I carefully reshaped the parts that have drifted from my original intention. You are not abandoned in the furnace. You are placed there so you may become firm and strong. The vessel can never mold itself. It must allow the potter to touch it, turn it, adjust it, and sometimes hurt it a little, so that it may become more beautiful. If you will let me work, you will come to understand that you are not broken beyond repair. You are being renewed. Little by little, I know you are tired of pretending you are fine, of trying to use your achievements to compensate for your deepest insecurity. You chase after the expectations of others, hoping that one day they will approve of you and your pain will disappear on its own. But my child, human hearts cannot be your place of healing. They are only a place that leaves you more exhausted. I do not wait for you to become strong before I come to you. I wait for you to admit you are weak so that I can be strong in your place. You do not have to play the role of the resilient one, because I love you in your truest state, tired, fragile, and sometimes not even knowing where to begin. I want you to lay down the burden of having to prove that you are good enough. For if you insist on keeping the right to condemn yourself, you are closing the very door that leads to restoration, which is my hand. So come near to me with all the things you consider ugly about yourself, missteps in your past, your cracked heart, your anger, your shame, your fear of being judged. I am not unfamiliar with these things. I have seen them long ago and still chose to love you through every stumble. Do not hide yourself any longer behind words of self-condemnation. Let me wipe clean the way you look at yourself, so that you may know you are not the final product of your mistakes. You are a page I am still writing on, not a discarded fragment. And as you begin to recognize your true worth in my hands, you will feel your heart grow lighter and your steps more steady. From there, you will come to understand why I do not want you to merely survive reluctantly. I want you to rise, not only to find peace, but to become living proof that restoration is real and is still unfolding in you day by day. Then at some point, when your soul is no longer bound by the voices of the past, you will find yourself called to something greater than mere existence. You will begin to see that life is not just a string of attempts to get through the day, but a journey of being sent to reach others. You will know that what once caused you pain has now become a key that opens a door for those who are lost. And you will understand, quite naturally, that I do not restore you merely so that you can feel better. I restore you so that you may become light, so that through you, others may see me. And from that awareness, you will be ready to step into what comes next, living not just to survive, but to carry blessing wherever I place you. There are times when after too many blows, you only have enough strength to say one thing to me. Just let me have some peace, that's all. I understand that because I see that you are so tired, you no longer dare to dream of anything more. But my child, if you live only to avoid pain, only to get through each day, then you are living far beneath what I have placed inside you. I did not save you just so you could hide in a safe corner. Lock your heart away and fear every risk. I set you free so that you could step out, turning the very scars that once made you ashamed into a story of restoration for others. If you only ask for peace for yourself and forget that I long to use your life to touch other souls, the blessing within you will slowly run dry because it has nowhere to flow. I know that many times you have ranked yourself among the ordinary, only daring to think that it is enough just to get by. Asking for nothing more, you look at those who are used and think, I am not that kind of person. And so you retreat into your small, safe zone. But my child, I do not choose people by human standards. I do not look for the perfect. I look for those who have been broken, who have thirsted, who know what the depths feel like, so that when I lift them up, they understand the true value of grace. You say you have nothing to give, but I see in you a treasure that has been formed precisely through the seasons you thought were all loss. All I need is for you to dare to place into my hands the little you think you have. I will break it, bless it, and distribute it to far more people than you can imagine. The battles you are facing are not only about money, emotions, or relationships as you think. Behind them is a spiritual clash. Because on your life, there is a calling that hell is very afraid you will discover. You think you are only trying to survive the day. But in truth, both I and the enemy of your soul know that you were created to do far more than that. Every time you want to give up, there is a whisper telling you that your life is meaningless. That is not me. That is the voice that wants you to forget that you are sent, so that you will accept living like a faint shadow in this world. I did not create you to be a silent extra in the background. I created you so that my light in you, however small it may seem, would be enough to shine for someone who has lost their way. When I lift you up even just a little, I do not do it so that you can proudly say you have made it. I place you in new positions, new relationships, new opportunities, so that through them, people may see my fingerprints on your life. I do not want you to show off what you have achieved. I want you to tell of the one who led you through the days when it seemed there was no hope left. The scars in your heart, the traces of your tears, are not things you must hide. They are evidence that you have walked through the fire without being consumed because of me. When you dare to tell others how weak you once were, I will use that very weakness to comfort those who are standing exactly where you once stood. You do not need to have a perfect sermon. You only need a genuine life. And I will use that as a living testimony. Therefore, my child, do not only ask me for blessings, so you can be comfortable, then clutch those blessings to yourself as if you are afraid they will be taken away. Blessing truly grows only when it flows through your life to others. If you cling to it, it will turn into fear of losing it rather than the joy of giving. I want you to step out of the mindset of just surviving and begin to ask me, Lord, where do you want to use me today? That question will change the way you see each day from merely counting down time to receiving every day as an opportunity to do small things of eternal value together with me. And when you live like that, you will see that every pain, every delay, every furnace you once blamed me for was never wasted. All of it has been gathered and woven into a story that only you carry. So that every time you share it, those who listen will recognize this is not luck. This is the hand of God upon a life that dared to be used by Him. The world keeps pressuring you to keep a calm face, to always appear strong, successful, in control of everything, as if showing even a little weakness means you will be despised and left behind. But I do not look at you that way. I know you on the days when you shine, and also on the nights when you sit in a daze staring at an empty wall. On the mornings when you do not want to leave your bed because your heart is so heavy. When others only want to hear stories of victory, I listen even to the sighs you think no one would ever want to hear. When people run out of patience with you, repeating the same sadness over and over, I still quietly sit beside you, looking at you with eyes that do not grow tired. At times, you think of yourself as someone who came too late, who missed out, who burned up your youth on relationships, goals, and illusions that now in hindsight feel only empty. You feel as if your life is ruined, as if you have wasted the time I gave you. But when I look at you, I do not see only your mistakes and your falls. I see a heart that, though bruised, still beats. A soul that, though it once wanted to let go, is today still here. Still with a bit of courage left to breathe, to exist, to dare to speak with me, to me. The fact that you can still stand after all the times you have fallen is a beauty that surpasses any title, status, or accomplishment the world praises. Trophies, certificates, and compliments will all gather dust. But a person who dares to rise after pain, who dares to return after wandering. In my eyes, that is a spiritual victory far greater than a flawless life that has never made a mistake. You are still here. You still call me Lord. You still dare to call yourself my child, even though you have often felt ashamed of your own wounds, and that pleases me far more than you think. My child, if this word has touched your heart today, I want you to know that I am right here with you. You are not walking through this season alone. If these truths have brought you comfort or renewed your hope, I invite you to type Amen in the comments as a sign that you receive this message from me. Share the part that spoke to you the most, or write a short testimony of what I am doing in your life right now. Your words may be the very encouragement that someone else needs to keep believing. If this video has blessed you, please click the like button so that this message can reach more of my children who are waiting on me. And do not hesitate to share it with a friend or loved one who is feeling discouraged or forgotten in their own season of waiting. In sharing, you partner with me to bring light into dark places and hope to weary hearts. Remember that every delay has a purpose, and every silence carries my presence. I am not finished with you yet. You are still in the process of becoming the beautiful vessel I designed you to be. Go forward with courage, knowing that my love surrounds you, and my timing is perfect. I bless you now, my beloved child. Amen.